Good morning or afternoon, Dr. Culver and anyone else who may be watching this. I'm Hannah McGee, and today I will be discussing the book I Survived the Bombing of Pearl Harbor 1941 for my book talk assignment. I chose this book because my grandfather on my father's side actually experienced and survived the bombing of Pearl Harbor, so this book is really close to me. This is what the book cover of it looks like. Try to get that glare off. This is what the spine of it looks like. And then this is what the back of it looks like. The book itself gives off a suspenseful atmosphere, as we can see the young boy is running away from the ship that is on fire. This book is number 4 in the I Survived series, book series. And there are 24 books in the entire series. This book was written by Lauren Tarshis and is illustrated by Scott Dawson. So there's Lauren's name. And then there's Scott's name. The publisher of this book is Scholastic Inc., and it was published in 2011. So here's Scholastic's name down on the bottom of it. This book is for grades 3rd grade through 5th and 6th through 8th grade, and the genres of this book are fiction, historical fiction, and realistic fiction. There are 86 pages plus 20 extra pages that talk about the history, timeline of Pearl Harbor, facts about Pearl Harbor, research for students to look up about Pearl Harbor, and 3 different synopses of Miss Tarshish's I Survived book series. This book also has an About the Author section at the end of the book. So, this is what the book looks like on the inside. And there's the history that the kids can look up. There's the synopsis. And then there's her About page. While this book does not have a written table of contents, it does have 14 chapters within the book, and the chapters range from 2 to 3 pages, maybe 4 if it's a long chapter. And here is the summary of the book. 11-year-old Danny Crane is alone on his favorite beach in Hawaii. However, his world is turned upside down when World War II quite literally hits the United States. Can he brave this dangerous day and make his way home? So there the students can make the connection that he is in danger. Here is an excerpt from I Survived the Bombing of Pearl Harbor, and I'll read it from the actual book. But he never felt more terrified than he did right now, alone and running for his life. One of the attacking planes had burst out of the smoke and was closing in on him across the empty beach. Danny sprinted through the sand, but there was nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. He peered over his shoulder as the plane flew closer. He could see into the cockpit. The pilot was glaring at him through his goggles. Rat-tat-tat, rat-tat-tat, machine gun fire. Danny pushed himself to run faster. Searing pain filled his chest as he inhaled the smoky air. Rat-tat-tat, rat-tat-tat. Sand flew up into Danny's eyes, and then from behind him, a huge explosion seemed to shatter the world. The force lifted Danny off of his feet and threw him onto the ground. And then, Danny couldn't hear anything at all. Would I recommend this book for my students? In all honesty, yes. This book is not only exciting to read, it is also interesting for the students to see this side of history from this perspective. This book allows students to connect the text to themselves, as it makes them think about how they would react in this situation. Another great factor about this book is that it provides additional information for the history of Pearl Harbor. It lets the students see what actually happened in history, as well as providing a timeline of what happened during that event and the facts about that event. Another great factor about this book is that the students can also read the other books that are in the World War II era, as well as that would help the students make a chronological connection between the books. The World War II books that Lauren Tarshis has written along with this book is I Survived number 9, I Survived the Nazi Invasion, 1944, I Survived number 13, I Survived the Hindenburg Disaster, 1937, I Survived number 18, I Survived the Battle of D-Day, 1944. This would allow the students to make the connection of the biggest events of the World War II events and see the perspective that they can make a personal connection to. I hope you enjoyed my book talk assignment.